God be with you, lad.
I'd like to enroll in...
All right.
Of course.
I'll write your name down. And I need to know what...
I've had plenty of practice.
Good.
God be with you.
The first combatant will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla, who will measure his skills against Jake the Stake, a brewery hand from Ratai. Let us wish the combatants luck. All is prepared for the first duel. Prepare to watch a fierce fight with axes and shields. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords. Victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round. Meeting face to face in this round will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla, who will measure his skills against Stephen of Deliverance, spearman in the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. Welcome, our warriors. The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. Prepare to watch a fierce fight with axes and shields.
Oh dear, did that hurt?
Change weapons for the second bout. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
God damn it! What's up? Shit yourself? Shit! God!
Victorious, he shall proceed to the next round of the Ratai Tourney. Meeting face to face in this round will be Laszlo, Hungarian warrior and Turk slayer at Nicopolis. And he will face Henry of Skalitz from the company of Kubla. Let us wish the combatants luck. And this very first bout will afford plenty of entertainment. Prepare to watch a fierce fight with axes and shields.
Me on. Hey.
The victor of the first duel is Laszlo, the Hungarian. The second bout will surely be no less exciting. This one may decide the winner. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield. And the second duel was won by Henry of Skalitz. As is customary, the weapons for the third bout have been chosen by our gracious Sir Hanush. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Ozzy, stanny. What? Me on. Never fight. Meg Douglas.
Lords and ladies, good men and good wives, you have just witnessed the final duel in today's Ratai tourney, for which we all owe gratitude to Sir Hanush of Lagpa. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzik Kobela. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sir Hanush.
You did it in the end, Henry. No doubt you're well satisfied. And I'm sure you'll be happy with this prize.
I certainly am, my lord. Thank you, sir.
Good luck, then.
God save you. Good luck then. Let's have a word about the price. Here you are, with a little top-up.
Thanks 1,000.
God Almighty, has something happened? Good luck to you.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I'd tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Bernard to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir. Sir Radzig, I believe you know Sir Wolflin of Camberg.
I do. We once had a rather amusing encounter. Such a shame he's turned to robbing and pillaging. How did the mission go, anyway?
An amusing encounter, sir?
It happened before we went to Poland. I hired Wolflin as a mercenary to help deal with the royal matter. We were laying siege to Herstein Castle, because the lord there had been collecting tolls on the royal highway. It was winter, and the mountain passes were knee-deep in snow. There was no way to get reinforcements or supplies to us. So, we were in a bit of a fix. There was a strong garrison at the castle, and they had more food than we. By chance, the lady of the castle, Ophelia, arrived and wanted to get inside. Her carriage got stuck in a snowdrift, and being chivalrous knights, we rescued her. Then Wolflin got the idea we would hold Lady Ophelia hostage in exchange for Lord Herstein's surrender along with his men. We even promised him we would let her go inside first.
But they could easily have broken their promise once the lady was inside and refused to surrender, couldn't they?
Of course. We expected it, and we had something up our sleeve. It was snowing heavily, and the visibility was low, so they didn't notice it wasn't Lady Ophelia in the carriage, but Wolflin in disguise. As soon as the gate closed behind the carriage, Lord Herstein came and gloated at us from the battlements. Only in the meantime, Wolflin killed the whole escort and opened a side gate in the walls, where we were waiting. After that, it was all over in minutes. So tell me, what happened with him?
Wolflin asked me to give you his regards, and he said if you're going to march against Sigismund, you should let him know.
My God, it's a fine state of affairs when even outlaws want to march under my banner.
Perhaps it's not such a bad thing, my lord. It's good to know he's still loyal to you after all these years.
You're probably right.
We parleyed with them and they pulled out.
How did Bernard feel about that? I think he was ready to bite Wolflin's head off.
He wasn't happy about it. But I told him Sir Hanush wanted the matter solved without bloodshed if possible.
I'm glad you did.
I'll be going.
How are you?
Can you teach me?
Certainly.
I want to achieve.
You can't become a
What? I'd like to learn.
Certainly.
I'm interested in more.
All right, but it'll come. Now, take care.
I need the key to Yezhek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
No wonder he doesn't want to talk to you.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
God save you, Henry.
Fresh bread! Come and get it! Man cannot live by bread alone. Bread! Fresh bread! Bread! Rolls, buns, and pretzels for you.
How are you? Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor...
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get an opportunity like that every day. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced, and after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
Will
you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I can try, but I can't promise you anything.
G'day, Henry.
What was that noise?
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things. There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
But if someone at the monastery is perpetrating crimes against the crown...
True enough. Why don't I go and arrest King Sigismund of Luxembourg while I'm about it? He's committed a crime or two as well. I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
Well, I know Miller Simon at the Sasau mill.
There you are. Millers usually know what's going on behind the scenes. Go there and talk to him. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you. But I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Jezek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
As you command, sir.
Huh? What the?
Well, Henry, it cost me a lot of effort, but it seems I've finally succeeded in making a half-decent warrior out of you. Anything I can do for you?
I've got that necklace.
Excellent news! I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task. I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You cannot. Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them. Otherwise the whole secret admirer ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well, may all the saints preserve you. Once you've delivered the things, wait a day, and then come back and see me.
God be with you.
Ci spierdolę.
Mark's killing me.
Henry, I'm glad you stopped by.
Hey, you've no business here. Clear off or you'll be...
Be merciful, good people.
Here's someone.
I'm from the Scullets, good
No
folk.
sign of anything.
You all know what happened there. Help your neighbour.
What? Hey, you! Halt! Surrender! You
All
have
right,
to answer
you
for
win.
your law breaking. You were seen picking a lock. You should have thought.
Here, take this.
I'd be lost without
You're making a serious mistake.
Do you think I'm...
Oh well.
You've paid for your crime. Give me all the things.
pity on you. The poor wretch. Sigismund and his murderers.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? If you don't clear off quick, it'll be the worst for you. Hey, you! Don't move a muscle. Hey, you! Halt!
Surrender! You're under arrest for breaking the law.
I told you to clear off. This definitely...
You're making a serious mistake. If only you knew what you've just got yourself into. This won't...
Well... What was that?
Hey!
Are you Dan?
Well? What are you doing here?
Fucking come on, then!
Had enough? God damn! Put him up face. Is that the best you can do?
Hey, who's there?
You've no business here. Clear off.
Hey!
Get going. Hey! Well then.
Hey! I've come to ask about that human.
Ask away.
And what plans do you have for him?
What do I know? The miller told me to guard him. You'll have to ask him what he's got in mind.
All right, I'll ask him. How did you...
Off and...
Interesting.
Get the hell out of here. There's nothing here for you. Hey! What's with you? Is someone there? Hey! What part did you understand? God save you. See you later.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you want here? Hop it, or I'll call a guard. Be quick about it.
The hell was that?
Yeah.
I can't go any further. The current could sweep me to my death.
Get the hell out of here. There's nothing here for you.
Hey, what are you doing here? Clear off quick or I'll throw you out. My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
Here's your beer recipe.
Wonderful. Here's your reward.
Any chance of a nice little earner for me?
Not so much for you as for me, but you can help me out. The Sasso cobbler's been making some fancy boots, and he's been given spurs from their lordships to add to them. I'm after those spurs.
Won't that get the cobbler in trouble? Losing their lordship's spurs, just like that.
And is that any of our concern? No, it isn't.
You can count on it. I'll be right back.
Just don't get yourself caught.
You haven't heard of any recruiters around here, have you? People looking for armed men?
Perhaps, but I'll not speak of it now.
Why not? It's important.
Because we're in the middle of something.
Come on. Nothing bad will happen if you talk to me.
Perhaps not, but I'll tell you when we're done. My memory will be sharper then.
Right. Christ, it's like pulling teeth with you. I hope you're more generous with your groschen than your words.
Take care.
You there, stop! Surrender!
You won't get away!
You're under arrest.
Enough!
You've been lurking around where you should have thought twice.
Look, I'll tell you the truth, but you mustn't tell anyone. The Lord of Ratai sent me on a secret mission. And to do it, I have to bend the law a little now and again. Understand?
Well, I thought, that is, I had no idea. That's how it is. Of course you may go.
Still a bit of light. She sits down and gets on with it.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Here you are in good health.
Lord be with you. Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Nothing I've heard about. Thank the good Lord. It's quiet here.
Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
And what's your idea of suspicious?
Have you heard of anyone looking to hire some rough men?
Mercenaries, you mean?
Yes.
There were some fellows conspiring here in the corner twice a week, and others coming and going. They didn't look entirely respectable, but they never made any trouble.
And what happened to them?
I don't know, they just stopped coming. And I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since.
You haven't heard anything about where they went?
How could I have? They just stopped coming, and that's that.
Where do you think they might be meeting now?
How should I know? I'm an honest innkeeper, not a man-at-arms. They could be meeting at another inn. They could be meeting in the woods by the light of the moon, for all I know.
Is there any way I'll recognize them?
Unquenchable thirst? They drank like fish. They were rough-looking, too. Big-bearded and scruffy. Aside from that, they mostly kept to themselves.
That's not much help. What did they do while they were waiting for someone?
They drank. And they played dice. I do remember there were always dice on the table.
So they were fond of dice, were they? And where would you find a game around here?
Anywhere there's dice and usually drink. That's all you need for a game. Although it dawns on me now, I never saw Simon with those men, oddly enough. He's got a nose for drunken dice players with a coin to lose.
Simon who?
Why, the young miller. He runs Catzick Mill. Neighbours are always slandering him for trafficking, but who knows? Maybe he just has a knack for business.
You don't know where I might find some more dishonourable folk?
And why would you want them? You'll set tongues wagging.
But they'd be the ones to know what reputable townsfolk don't.
I grant you that. Well, we don't have an executioner, just a knacker. But he's an odd fellow. Like any knacker, I suppose. And there's some strange tales about Miller Simon, too. But I'd say it's just jealousy.
What can you tell me about the knacker?
Decent folk don't talk about him. He deals in carcasses.
I was hoping you'd tell me a bit more than that.
Why should I care about him? He lives in a house by the church, and that's all I know. And all I'll say.
What can you tell me about Simon?
There's not much to tell. He runs Catzick Mill, and some say thieves meet there at night. But isn't there gossip about every miller? I don't think he's a sinner. But only God knows for sure.
Anything else?
You might not find him at the mill. He's a busy man, always out and about making some deal or other. And he likes to throw dice, especially when he sees a fat purse hanging on a drunken belly.
Thank you for the help.
Not at all. But why off so soon? Sit down for a tankard or a bite to eat.
Good luck to you.
What's going on there?
Garlic soup for the winter, onion soup for the spring, asparagus for taste, and cream for what ails you. Try them.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
I've heard talk about your knacker.
What's my neighbour been up to this time? Digging up corpses again? Or robbery?
Did he do that?
No, he didn't. But people thought he did. His house is nearby, between the rat house and the church. He's a decent man, a good man. But he's the knacker and the gravedigger.
That's good to know. I've got a few questions for you, bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some trouble around here?
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain? Who sent you here?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, But what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian. And he's got no dog in this fight either.
You have an inn, and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work, and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. But now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchpoles go by there from time to time to keep an eye on things.
Thank you, Bailiff.
May the Lord watch over you.
What else to you, sir?
Hey! What's going on there? Well, I never.
No son of a woman.
Hey!
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
Are you the local knacker?
I'm the local gravedigger. But if there aren't any burials to take care of, I'll turn me hand to knackering.
Well, then you might know a lot of things that others don't.
I'm a decent man. Not always honest, but decent.
Anything fishy going on in these parts?
There certainly is. Candles are being stolen from the church, as brazen as that. What sort of people do that?
Ah, but have you heard of anyone around here hiring adventurers and bandits?
How would I know that? Most people avoid talking to me. I don't even go to the tavern much these days.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. Feel free to stop by any time. People shy away from me, except when there's a death, or the cesspit's full. Farewell.
About Sasau. Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. May the Lord watch over you.
Good God. Take care.
Why are you waking me? Go away.
He looks like a hen. Maybe he'll lay an egg.
Back trouble?
What are you up to here? Lost something? Look out!
Have you lost something?
Huh.
Why are you creeping around like a footpad?
Are you looking for something? You men are like little kids.
What do you think you're doing? I have a mind to call the guards.
What happened to you?
Is that some new kind of game?
Oh. He looks like a hen. Maybe he'll lay an egg.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward. Don't worry. God be with you.
Oh, it's you.
How are you doing? Feeling better yet?
Aye, much better. I'm truly grateful. A bit longer and I'll be able to run back to the woods and carry on. Well, never mind. Very kind of you to look in on me.
Truth be told, I didn't come just for your health.
What do you need?
Well, I've heard tell there's work for fearless men who enjoy a bit of silver.
Ah, I believe I can help you with that. They used to frequent the tavern, but now they meet in the church.
The church?
Aye, that's right. The church is locked at night, but if you see a light, the door will be open. Go in there and wait. Say a prayer or something, and then you'll see.
That's it? I don't need to speak to anyone?
Just doing what I told you is enough. They'll give you a good look over and see if you've got the metal. Don't you worry about that.
All right, thank you.
You took care of me, why wouldn't I help you? Tit for tat, eh? God be with you.
Well, I never.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
Willing to do anything? Meaning what? Something filthy like helping the knacker? I wouldn't know. Go and ask someone else.
That's not what I meant, but all right. What happened with the tanner?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He came to test his mettle like everyone, but he couldn't even get past young Weed. Then he started whining about getting his money back because we tricked him, so we threw him out. He came back a few times after that complaining about all the shouting, and ordered us to bugger off elsewhere.
But you didn't?
No. And when he got really annoying, he got a punch in the mouth, and he hasn't been back since. Doesn't dare to. But it didn't shut that big mouth of his.
Good luck to you.
I want to get better.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my...
First you have to have some...
Well, I'll think it over.
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants fearless men. Do you know anything about it?
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if you're not afraid of carcasses and the occasional pile of shite...
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it someone's hiring mercenaries and other fighters.
Ah, well, you've heard more than I.
The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night, and I thought I might convince you to stop.
Ha! So all his whining finally found a friendly ear, did it? Let me tell you something first, whelp. I'm the bailiff's man, and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's only been whining like that since he lost a bit of silver. Didn't bother him before that.
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lads. They'll tell you the same. It's God's honest truth.
I'll take you at your word. But what should I do now?
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old liar and leave him be, or get down to business.
Or there's a third possibility.
What would that be?
We put one over on that pinch penny. I'll tell him I've taken care of everything, and you and your friends don't show up here for a few days. I'll get a reward, and we can split it. And then you can come back later. It's practically free money.
I like the sound of that tune. The devil take the tanner. We'll hole up somewhere else for a few days, and you come and see us once you've got the coin. All right?
What are you doing here?
Nothing special. Just a little evening wrestling. It's good for your back and digestion. And your purse too, if you know your business.
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough?
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? First beat wheat. God be with you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I heard that someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I'm always the last to hear of anything like that. I'll ask Punch. He'd know.
I heard you gave him quite a beating.
It's his own damn fault.
Really? He just came to tell you to go elsewhere.
That's what he told you? Bollocks! He came of his own accord. It was him started the fuss, after he'd lost all his money.
He really tried to have a go. I wouldn't think he'd have it in him.
He tried, but he didn't have much luck. He does pack a punch. But landing it in the right place, ha! I'm not surprised he's got no children.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Good luck to you. Ah! 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 Yow!
Damn, a thief! He's stealing here! Thief!
I hope I can be of help to you.
I heard someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. I work in the quarry, and they're always looking for extra hands to replace them that's got something broken.
That's not what I meant, but... Let's fight.
You look pretty good.
We'll see.
God be with you.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad.
God be with you.
God be with you.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. But let's see how you do with me. Good luck to you.
Hey, you!
Stop right
Don't
where you
move a
are.
muscle.
Ow! Surrender!
Don't move
You're
a
on in a
thing.
violation. You were seen thieving. This definitely...
Just my luck. Look, I can't...
Huh?
Let's fight.
Farewell.
I want to fight you.
You put on quite a show. Farewell.
God be with you.
God be with you.
I've taken care of the lads who were bothering you. You'll have a quiet...
God bless you, lad. And here's something for your trouble and kindness. Unlike that miserable bailiff.
If anything else grieves you, just say the word.
Farewell.
That was pretty good. I didn't think you had it in you.
You were really good. I've got to hand it to you. Most lads don't make it past me. So listen, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
There are people here looking for really tough men, and I'd say you fit the bill. So when you walk through town this evening, if there's a light in the church, go in and wait a while. If they like the looks of you, they might give you some work.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
The groschen I got from old Leatherman.
I hope he wasn't as tight as a drum. He always struck me that way.
Here's your full share.
That's not half bad. All that messing and fussing paid off.
And when do you aim to be back?
A day or two. We'll see.
I want to get better at fistfight.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone...
All right, but it'll come... Now, good luck.
kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like. People talk.
Oh, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
The bailiff's man told me about you. The one who runs the fight club in the quarry.
Did he now? Well, I hope you trounced him. Bastard took my money at dice.
If you want, I can give him a proper hiding, just to show you I'm serious.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight, but not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
No, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius, and why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
Who's Pius?
That's none of your business.
How? Did he steal?
Yeah,
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Well, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine-looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars. And I doubt he suddenly stopped drinking.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? See you later.
There's the good doggy. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
Greetings, good night.
Here are the spurs from the cobbler.
Beautiful. I'll get a good few groschen for them. Here's your share. Goodbye.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what...
let's talk about the... Well...
Aye. For that amount, I...
I've got this plan.
What is it?
It's just that you look like someone who doesn't mind a bit of adventure. And I'm looking for someone like that. Let me put it this way. I know how to come by some serious wealth. Treasure, so to speak. And I'm willing to share this information with you for a trifling sum.
Sounds a little fishy to me.
Well, I helped this merchant out, see? His wagon got stuck in the mud, and in return, he shared it with me.
He told you where he had money hidden? That sounds unlikely.
The thing is, at the time, he wasn't quite alive, see?
What?
I mean, I found the merchant dead in his wagon. So me and my cousin freed the wagon, and as I was helping him into the grave, we dug... Well, my hand accidentally slipped inside his coat and caught hold of this parchment with something scribbled on it.
Right. No beating about the bush. That's a rather wild story.
Excellent.
Yeah.
take them.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
How are you, Henry?
Greetings. What do you need?
I delivered the things as you asked.
I already know. My spies told me everything. She was wearing the necklace this morning, as I asked in the letter.
So you'll go to the rendezvous with her?
Certainly not. I'm not going to pounce on her like a bull in rutting season. Her feelings must be allowed to mature gradually. Meanwhile, you'll get a potion for me.
I thought you didn't believe in witches' brews.
This is no witch's brew. It's an absolutely tried and tested elixir called Musk of Infinite Allure. There's a fellow in Sassau who sells it, and he guarantees its success.
Musk of Infinite Allure?
I'm sure I can rely on you. Here's some coin for your costs.
Take care.
Be merciful, good neighbours.
God be with you, Henry. Congratulations on winning the tournament. I'm proud of you.
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof massacre... it's getting a bit complicated.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the whoresons who torched Neuhof.
That's excellent news. Did you find out any more?
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhof too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself. Goodbye.
powder made of the bones of St. Thomas.
Well, well, who have we here?
Ah, the prodigal son returns. I knew you'd come back to me one day.
Let me guess. You saw it in a dream?
I knew you were going to say that.
But I had a divine revelation. That next time I won't be around to pull you out of the shit.
Oh, well, I am sorry. But these things are sent to try our fortitude in the face of adversity.
I'd like to try your fortitude. I've heard you know of some irresistibility potion or whatever it is.
Ah, naturally, musk of infinite allure, an age-old recipe, maybe even older, tested by Moses himself.
Moses?
How do you think he managed to get his people to follow him through the desert for 40 years? It's extremely potent.
Yeah, so it would seem. How much do you want for it?
Who do you take me for? The wisdom of the ancients isn't something that's bought and sold in the marketplace. Did Jesus charge for his miracles? But since you ask, how about this much?
That's not much.
Really? All right, double then.
What? Why? You... why do I even bother?
If you like, I can mix the elixir for you in exchange for a small favor.
Oh, not again.
Now, is that any tone to use with your master? For shame.
Apologies, master. I was carried away by my thirst for knowledge.
I understand your impatience, but the way to wisdom is narrow and arduous.
And leads out the window. So what is it you want from me now?
Ah, my dear apprentice, everything's gone to the devil. I'm living from hand to mouth, sleeping on straw, and the local peasants won't buy from me. They say they don't trust me, as if I was some kind of charlatan. Can you believe it? Does this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods, whose only concern is the welfare of troubled souls. And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sassau. I should leave before things get worse. But I can't go anywhere until I've made a bit of coin. So what's needed is to give the locals a bit of encouragement, to open their hearts and purses.
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. Violence is for the dull-witted. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity of buying my remedies. For example, to ward off a revenant.
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave, a corpse that the soul is unable to depart from, which wanders among the living, filled with rage at its wretched fate.
Yeah, I saw something like that once, but it was just some drunk going home from the tavern after losing all his money at dice.
Don't make light of such things. Now tell me, do you know how to deal with a revenant?
Chop its head off and sprinkle holy water on it?
That is the traditional way of dealing with such supernatural manifestations. You are my trained apprentice, but the ignorant villager is entirely at a loss how to deal with such dark forces. It is our sacred duty to prepare them for such threats.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. They need proof. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sassau, but it's got one minor shortcoming.
What's that?
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
But that's a sin.
Refusing to help the needy is also a sin. I haven't had a decent meal for 40 days and 40 nights.
My conscience is clear where your stomach is concerned. Disturbing a grave is a grave sin.
The grave is not in hallowed ground, so that's hardly worth one Lord's Prayer in penance. I asked a priest once, just out of curiosity.
Why this particular grave?
The locals don't like to talk about it, so it's surely got some sinister past behind it, and in places like that, revenants sprout up like mushrooms after rain.
Well, if that's how it is, we could open old wounds. That could easily set people against us. Again.
Then it would be best if no one could connect us to it, wouldn't it?
I'll need a spade then.
Yes, dig it up and remove the remains, leaving no trace.
And what am I to do with the remains?
Keep them. Human remains are always handy to have around.
Great. And how do we spread the word of this revenant?
There's a gossip in every village. Here, too, a woman who'll spread news quicker than a dozen messengers on the fastest steeds.
And what am I to tell this gossip?
All you have to do is casually mention the empty grave, and before evening, I'll wager the whole village will know about it.
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left, on the road to Sasau. She was the first person I met here, and by the time I reached the village green, I already had a mob looking suspiciously at me. The rumour-mongering fishwife.
And that's all?
Not quite. You should ask her who was buried there. So we've got a story to work with.
So, dig up the grave, talk to the gossip.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them. Otherwise no one will believe in the revenant.
I might have known any task for Capon would turn into some insane escapade. Grave robbing. Jesus.